up, and welcome back to the channel. And I know it's been a few weeks since I made a video, but there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on in the world, some really crazy stuff, some sad stuff, and I kind of just was taking some time to reflect on things. But I wanted to get back into making some videos. So today I want to talk about, are stomp box pedal boards, traditional stomp box pedal boards, still viable in today's music industry in 2025? So I have a really cool setup right here. This has actually was my gigging and touring setup for a long time. It's right here. It's my traditional stomp box setup. This is kind of what I narrowed it down to after years of using different stomp boxes. This made it real simple, and I could get everything I wanted onto this little pedal board instead of having such a big pedal board. So I want to get into this. I want to tell you what I'm playing through and kind of what you guys are hearing. The amp we're using today is the Blackstar HT5 tube amp. That's that 5-watt tube amp that's super stupid loud. We're running through a Blackstar 212 cabinet right there, and we're going through this pedal board here. We've got the Jerry Cantrell wah, which I really like a lot, and I've had that for many, many years, ever since it came out. We've got a guitar tuner. So basically, we're going through the. Let me give you the change. We got a guitar tuner. Sorry, let me go ahead and go. We got a guitar tuner. We've got a noise gate, just in case we get a lot of noise depending on where you're playing at. I've got a. This is a, I do believe this is a more chorus pedal. This is a more delay pedal. That's a Donner noise gate. We've got the Digitech drop pedal, and that's used for me playing some drop D stuff, unsustained stuff when I want to go drop D. I've got the metal muff. This is the micro metal muff. This is one with all the different knobs on it, so you can really dial it in. And then I've got a loop station for when I'm practicing by myself. I can loop some stuff together. But basically the way this daisy chain runs is that this goes into here, comes through my wah first, then goes into my tuner, and then my tuner actually runs into my Digitech drop D. We're actually running from here, we're running down here, and then the Digitech's running into the metal muff, and then we're running up here to the noise gate, and then we're running, after that we're running into the chorus pedal and the delay pedal, and then that runs around into the loop station. And the reason why that is because I wanted my effects after my distortion, not before my distortion. And it's just kind of the way I run the pedal that I seem to get the best sound of it. And then that goes directly into the front of the amp. I do not run it into the back of the amp and do the whole loop thing and stuff. For me, I've always just plugged in straight into the front, and it's been fine. So it works out for me. But that's kind of how I'm running that right there. But that's what we got on the pedal. And we're using my James Hetfield signature Snake Bite and Cuyo camo, which I love this guitar. It's got the EMGs, James Hetfield EMGs in it, and this is just a great guitar. And for this setup, it sounds really good with the tube amp. So the reason why I decided this video is because I'm a very keep it simple, stupid kind of guy. And if you guys have followed my channel over the years, you know that I like to keep it down to the bare basics. And for me, bare basics for me, all I need, I want a good distortion pedal, a good delay, and a good chorus, and I'm golden. And maybe a noise gate just to mitigate noise if you're on certain stages. That can help with noise if you get a lot of hissing stuff. Depending on what guitar, if you're playing a guitar like this that has EMGs, noise gates can always help tone down that hissing, so you're not always having to turn your volume down and stuff, because you will get hissing and feedback, and so the noise gate can help. I rarely use the noise gate. I haven't had to use it too often, but I like having it on the pedal just in case I need it. But over the years of playing, you know, I started off playing with stomp boxes just like this. I had a Boss, I had the Boss Metal Zone was my go-to pedal, which I had, and then I had the Boss stereo chorus, and then I had a Boss delay, and then I had a Boss tuner, and that was my setup. And then I had a Vox wah back then for a while, and then I went to when Jerry Cantrell came out with this wah, I went to this wah, but I had a Vox wah for years, but I've always had a wah. And so that was my basic setup, was distortion, chorus, and delay, and that's still what I use today. Even though you guys see me play a lot on this channel, and I'm using the Boss GT1000, which I love, and it has so many different sounds, so many different crazy things. The only things I have dialed in there is I have, and I run reverb on the amp. So let me say that too. I do run a reverb on the amp. So if I didn't have an amp with reverb, I would run a reverb pedal. But basically, I've always run reverb on the amp. I've always bought an amp that has reverb on it, so I don't have to run a reverb pedal. Try to keep it small. But even with the Boss GT1000, excuse me, I'm still only running distortion, chorus, delay, and reverb. That's it. That's what I like. That's how I like it. And those are the sounds that I've really come to. And I just like to keep it simple. So for decades and decades, I've been running a setup just like this. Minus I didn't have the loop station on it. And it took me a long time before I ended up with the drop pedal. I was always having to drop tune my guitars. But once they came out with that Digitech and it works so well, and for the drop, I don't go super crazy. I go down to drop D and D. So that's what I have this set up for. So I can do drop D and D without having to, I can keep my guitars tuned into standard E. And then I just use the Digitech pedal to do the drop tunings for certain songs that I like to play. And it works out great. And this has been a great setup. Now, the crazy thing about the Boss GT1000 is, as cool as it is, it doesn't have a way that I can just step on a switch and go to drop D tuning, you know, and that thing's $1,100. So this pedal right here has come in handy, and I still, if I want to go gig with that and do drop D tunings, I take this off here and I still put it off to the side so I can still do my drop tunings. Now, are these viable in today's day and age? Because there's so much digital stuff, and they're making more compact things. I mean, they're even doing away with, you don't even have amps where you can buy it all in one thing. Like with the Boss GT1000, that's all I need. I don't need an amp. I don't need a cab because it has all that stuff built in. I can just grab that and go, and that's great. You know, if you're doing like fly dates and things like that, that's really awesome. You know, and the more compact the stuff is, the cooler it is, and it makes it a lot easier if you're a gigging musician when you're traveling, especially if you fly. You know, now I've never been in the position where I needed to go do fly dates, you know. I mean, I've just never been that big in a band, you know. I've had a band that's done pretty well and been pretty successful, like mid-level, but never to that extent that we were getting on a plane and packing our gear and flying somewhere to play. I mean, it just never happened in my time of playing. But is a pedal board like this still viable, and are bands and musicians still using them? Because the one thing that I found with a lot of those digital pedals is there's so much going on, so much confusion, that you can end up having a lot of issues when you're playing live on stage. Now, I really love the Boss GT1000 because they actually use the stomp box pedal buttons just like you're using a regular stomp box, and that's why I really love that as a thing. But I have other ones that have kind of those long pedals or anything, and I've always had issues. Like I have a Boss ME70 that I really like the sound of, but gigging with it was really hard because the pedals that they put on, instead of putting the switches, the pedals they put on it was really difficult, especially a guy like me that wears boots or something like that on stage, to switch back and forth. So it was very frustrating. You know, I really had to focus and just use the tip of my toe to hit that, because I've definitely stepped on it a few times where I hit the wrong thing, you know, and you end up having to do this pedal stomp to do it. Now, you know, the pros and cons of it is that, like with a setup like this, you're rarely going to have an issue where you step on the wrong button because everything's separated really well. But the other thing is that you're doing the stop box dance where you're going tick, tick, tick. If you're having to turn things on and off for different songs and go back and forth, you're doing that stomp box foot switch thing, which can kind of be a pain in the butt. And that's why people like the multi-effects pedal. It's why I like a multi-effects pedal, because it saves me from doing that. Because I can program my things in to where if I want course and delay on this setting, I can put it all in there. But if I want it to be clean with no course and delay, I can create a setting like that too. So there's pros and cons to it all. But I will tell you that I've had, like, using a setup like this has been really great, and it works really well, especially if you keep it simple, stupid. So for me, what you guys heard in the intro is I was running the distortion, I'm running the course and delay, and I run it always on. So I like that little bit of color that you get from that that sound, or kind of wash, whatever you want to call it and stuff, because you can go straight sound. Like if I went, I'll give you an example of, this is what it sounds like when I don't have this on. Let's turn these off. Gotta be careful with these things. Okay. So let's turn those off. And this is just straight sound with reverb and the distortion. That's okay. So that's what it sounds like, straight distortion, which sounds good with just the reverb. But I like to add a little bit of delay, a little bit of chorus in my sound, and then you'll hear the difference in how this sounds. just it gives us this really much fuller sound than what you get without it. So I really like, that's how I like to run it. And I don't have it turned up much with the coarse and delay, because if you turn up too much, then you get that delay weird, you know, kind of sound and stuff. But if you go to a clean channel, let's let you hear what that sounds like in a clean. Not the cleanest playing in the world, but turn it down a little bit. So let's kick it with the, this was with my coarse delay sounds with it. Ah, that's terrible. You can't even play today. I keep missing that note. Jesus, Pete. Ah! That was bad. That was really bad. That was just bad. But anyway, you guys get the idea of kind of what it sounds like. You get a little bit fuller sound with it when you're doing that. So maybe I can play something that sounds a little better. I'm roughing it today, but you know, I like to leave in the bloopers because it ain't perfect when I'm doing this stuff. It's good for you guys to see people make mistakes because I'm human, and there's so many people out there that make videos that are just like, it's all this perfectness, and it's not like that. You know how many takes you have to do? You guys just saw how many times I just messed up doing that riff, and I would edit that out, and then you wouldn't even know I did that. So I like to leave that stuff in. So anyway, so back to the pedal stuff though. For you guys out there that are currently playing now, what are you gigging and touring with? You know, personally, I still think stomp box pedals are still very viable today. And a pedal board like this that's set up like this, I still think is a very viable setup. It's a great backup setup. If you're running like a Boss GT1000, or a Helix, or a Head Rush, or something like that, and you want a backup, having one of these around can actually save your butt. And they make some other ones that are super cool. I've done a few videos on some other stomp box type rigs that are very small that Donner makes and stuff that will save your butt in a minute, and they'll fit in a little backpack pocket all day long. And they have the chorus, delay, distortion, and some reverb on it, and will really get you through if you need it. Because it's always good if you're gigging to always bring some sort of backup just in case your main fails on you. You've got something else to use and play. That's why I always take a few guitars with me just in case. You know, if I have a problem with one guitar, I can grab another one and I can still play my show. But what do you guys think? I wonder, do you guys think that like this setup in this day and age is still a good setup? Do you think that you would still use something like this? Or are you guys all switching over to the digital all-in-one things that have the amps, cabs, everything, so you don't have to haul all this stuff around and you're just taking a pedal board and you plug into a PA system and go? I mean, I'd love to know what you guys are playing out of. I use a little bit of everything. So I have my Boss GT1000, which if I just want to grab that and go play and just plug into PA, I can. But I also have the stomp boxes. This thing right here sits on the floor, right here, right in front of this amp, because I still like to plug in and play this thing, because I love using my Jerry Cantrell wah, and I just love the sound of this classic stuff, and I still love plugging into a tube amp and playing it. But if, you know, if I was really gigging hard in today's day and age and stuff, I probably would be just taking a Boss GT1000 or something similar to that and just going and hit the stage and pre-program. But I'll tell you this, there's nothing like having an amp cabinet sitting on stage behind you with a good solid stomp boxes and just playing, or your pedal board and stuff. And for me, I honestly, I probably would still be, you know, I did say that, you know, I probably would just take that, but you know, I still need an amp cabinet on stage. I still need an amp cabinet on stage with me. I just like that feeling that air and stuff. But as far as the pedal boards go, I still think a pedal board like this is viable in today's day and age. You can compact them down like I have, like this right here. I did a video on the Electro Harmonics tattoo pedal, and that thing's awesome because it's got distortion, chorus, and delay all built into it. It's a little box about this big. I actually have it on my pedal board in the house that I use all the time. I still use a stomp box board in the house. I don't have a digital setup in there. It's my tattoo tattoo pedal board. It's got distortion, chorus, and delay. I've got a tuner pedal, and I've got a drum machine with a loop station on it, so I can have drums and loop and practice in the house. That's how I write songs and stuff in the house. But I still use this stuff all the time, and I still revert back to it. And one of the reasons why I do is because it's never failed me. In all the years that I've been playing since I was 16, and I'm 55 now. Stomp box pedals have never let me down, but I've had some digital stuff have some issues, So in the end, finding good solid stomp box pedals, and maybe I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'll do a video on like distortion pedals, like the different stomp box distortion pedals I like and why I like them. Obviously, I like the Metal Muff. I have it on here. This has been a great pedal. That replaced my Metal Zone. I did have a Black Star distortion on there for a while, which is a good distortion pedal, by the way, itself. But I really like this little Metal Muff. It just does it for me. I don't know why. It gives me that good crunchy when you hit that thing and you get that good. Because I like that, even though I like that rock. I just love that really good. It just has a good deep guttural crunch, man. It just has a good punch. And this whole rig actually sounds really good playing through this. So I really like that sound. I hope it's coming through on you guys and you can hear it really good too. But I just like this setup. I've used it forever. I mean, I've been playing this setup for decades. That's why it's still set up like it is. It's still on there. Everything has stayed wired up. I mean, I can't even remember how long ago I originally put this pedal board together, but it's been a while. It's been a while. At least... So, I've had this pedal board since I was in Colorado, so yeah, it's probably been put together since like 2012, somewhere in there, 2012, so maybe not decades, but a decade, yeah, like 2012, yeah, 22, yeah, so like well over a decade I've been playing this rig, so, yeah, so it's been a cool setup, and, I'll tell you right now, Moore makes really great pedals for these little boutique pedals, and Donner makes some really good pedals too. If you guys haven't checked out Donner, I've been using Donner tuners for I don't know, probably about well, I got my first Donner tuner in 2016, so almost 10 years now. So I've been using one of those. So the Donner tuners are really great. Their pedals are really good. They make some cool little multi-effects pedal setups and stuff too that I would definitely check out. I think they do a full pedal board like the GT1000, but a smaller version. I think I might have to pick that up and try that out. I know they do. I haven't tested that out yet, but Donner makes some pretty good stuff, and it's got some pretty good stuff out too that's very budget friendly. So if you guys are looking for budget friendly stuff, it can get, you can find something pretty good. And that's the other thing about the multi-effects pedals versus doing this. The multi-effects pedals in today's age are a lot cheaper than trying to set up a whole board like this, because if you were doing Boss pedals, just Boss pedals, the average Boss pedal is $100 or more. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably $800 worth of pedals on that board. Now these aren't as expensive. I can't remember. The Donner pedal was about $40. I think the Moore pedals were about $40 or $50 somewhere. So that's probably about $150, probably about $200 across the top. The Metal Muff is not super expensive. It's like $79 or something. So $80. So this looper station's about $70, maybe $100. I can't remember. That's the most expensive. That's like $200 some. So you still got like 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you got about 5. Yeah, it gets pretty expensive to do this. But I still love it. I still like it. I mean, I put it together a long time ago, like I said. And I just like to hear your thoughts. This is my first video that I've made in a while. After all the stuff that happened a few weeks ago, and I just want to try to get back into it. I want to try to put out just good content that's just that people like, and just talk about things I like. And that's kind of what I try to do with my music channel. I'm not gigging and playing anymore. I still jam with some people I used to play with, but I'm not really doing that anymore. So I'm just jamming in here, writing songs in here, putting stuff out on iTunes, and just trying to have fun and put out some good quality stuff for you guys to talk about and discuss. And I think this is a good topic. Let's talk about, are stomp boxes relevant anymore? So you guys tell me what you think. Do you guys still use stomp boxes? Or are you guys using a multi-effects pedal? Or what kind of rig you're running? Are you going straight into your amp? That's a good question. Are you going straight into your amp? Are you guys running straight into your amp? I mean, there's a lot of guys that just plug in and use everything right off their amp and don't use any of this stuff. So I'd be curious to what you guys are running. Tell me what kind of rigs you're running, what kind of amps you're playing for, if you're using the amp at all. You guys know I'm a big Orange fan, so Orange is kind of my thing, but I also like my Black Star stuff and my PV stuff. That's why I still have it. I have a couple classic PV rigs over here that I'll never get rid of. But just love to hear your thoughts. Stomp boxes or multi-effects pedals. You guys tell me which one you prefer. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's kind of fun to do. It's good to kind of get back into it. I'm going to try to keep putting out content for you guys. I have some ideas for some things, but I've been real busy. I run a couple other channels. My outdoor channel, if you guys don't know, I run an outdoor channel called Bravo Bassin. That one has really taken off, and I've got a lot of stuff going on that channel. A lot of things happening over there, and because it's outdoors, it takes me away. I go away to do stuff. That's kind of been a forefront for it and stuff. But I do love this channel. This channel has grown organically, and I love all you guys as subscribers, and I appreciate everybody that does watch the channel. So if you guys have any questions, comments, just love to hear what you guys think about stomp box versus multi-effects. What are you guys running? I've said that a million times, so somebody will say, you've said that 20 times. Yeah, well, I have short-term memory loss to get over it. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your questions and comments down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.